Hi, I'm Richard from Drive Green, and today we'll be spending a bit of time with the MG ZS EV. The electric MG has been an incredibly popular car over the last year, and today I'm going to try and share some of my experience and thoughts about this car with you, and hopefully help you decide whether it might be the right electric car for you. The MG is a recent entrant into the EV market, launched at the end of 2019. It was very eagerly anticipated as it was set to be a really affordable family EV. At such a low new price, there was nothing to come even close to it in the family EV market. As a result of its great value and extremely low purchase price, it has been very successful, becoming the 5th best-selling EV in the UK in the last year, 2020. This is an incredible achievement for a new entrant in the marketplace, and it just goes to show what a huge appetite there is for a good value family-sized EV. For quite a while now, I've thought the EV market is short on a couple of things. A really cheap EV and a really nice, decent sized family EV. And all of a sudden, with the MG, we've got a car that ticks both boxes. This is where the MG is brilliant. It really is quite a large car. There's loads of space inside, particularly in the back, and you have a massive boot as well. Put on a roof box, and you've got a car that can comfortably do the family holiday, which is a rare thing. Perhaps the only cars that currently can achieve the same are the Nissan Leaf and the Kia e-Niro. However, they're both much more expensive than the MG, and I do actually fancy the MG is even bigger and more practically sized. The MG certainly ticks the box of being a really decent sized family EV, which is great to see. I must confess, based upon the very cheap cost of this car, I was expecting quite a poorly made car. However, when I got in it for the first time, I was really rather pleasantly surprised. It's actually a very nice, solidly built, quite a good quality car. Interior wise, currently we're driving an exclusive model, so it's the higher range, and it's actually really nice. You've got some soft plastics, nice sort of faux leather seats, and it's all actually a very well put together interior. Much better than I was expecting. We've also got this beautiful panoramic sunroof, which actually opens as a sunroof, and it's also got a lovely nice electric sunshade that goes on it. Really nice premium touch, and you know, it's a rarity on most EVs, and well, completely unheard of on an EV at this price point. You know, this is a really nice thing. That'd be nice on a premium car, let alone finding it on the cheapest electric car on the market. However, the bottom of the market value point of this car does show itself in places, such as the air vents and these switches, and I have to say the media centre and the dash display are not good. Whilst the MG certainly has touches of cheapness about it, the quality of the car is very much assured by the length of warranty it carries. Most EVs carry a 3-year and sometimes a 4-year warranty on the car. However, the MG has got an enormous 7-year warranty on the whole car, which is incredible, especially again for a car at this price point. And it pretty much guarantees you, a very quality made, reliable machine. Being profiled as a cheap EV, you would expect the equipment level to be quite low on this car. However, you couldn't be more wrong. It's got an equipment level to rival even some of the sort of more premium priced EVs. Today, obviously, I'm driving the exclusive model, the higher of the two, and we've got these lovely faux leather heated seats. You've got the beautiful panoramic opening sunroof. We've got an automatic handbrake with auto hold. We've got lane assist. We've got adaptive cruise control. We've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, keyless entry, reversing camera, automatic lights. The list goes on. This really is a supremely well-equipped car. When you drop down to the lower level Excite model, you of course lose the lovely sunroof, you lose these sort of faux leather seats, and you also lose a couple of speakers. However, still, despite being like the cheapest electric car out there, it still is carrying very good spec nonetheless. I would, generally speaking, assuming you can afford to do so, I would advise sort of spending that little bit extra and going for the exclusive model, because once you add this lovely sunroof and these nice sort of faux leather seats, you really do get a car that, I don't know, just feels so much more quality for the cost. Now, there are a few things I don't really like about this car, which I guess is obviously going to be inevitable on a car that's this cheap. The dash display isn't very nice. How the car displays how full the battery is really very poor. The car itself is a bit noisier than most EVs. I'm not a fan of some of these buttons, they're a little bit cheap, and the actual the gear selector wheel itself is I don't know, it does the job fine, and I guess you get used to it, but somehow, I don't know, there's a cheapness to it that reminds me of a 1980s stereo. Like I say, it's perfectly functional, but I'd like to see a nicer kind of gear selector there. The media centre as well, it is very much outdated. I haven't used a media centre quite this poor for a while, and it really does sort of let the car down a little bit, I think. To be totally fair to this car though, you can't be the cheapest car out there and the best car out there at the same time, and it is remarkable value for money. Although the media centre, for example, you know, is pretty basic and not very nice to use, you could say. I think what MG have done here is they're assuming that you're going to be using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on your infotainment system anyway, as a result of which they've put their money towards the licenses for those platforms as opposed to over-investing on the infotainment system itself. I would like to see a better infotainment system, because I know not everyone is going to want to use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so it would be nice to broaden the appeal to some of the traditionalists out there. However, you know, with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on there, you know, the infotainment system is as good as almost any other car. Personally, I would have preferred it if MG had diverted some of the money away from the techie toys like the adaptive cruise control and the lane assist. Perhaps put it towards some slightly nicer switching and a better infotainment screen, as I think those are the parts that kind of let this car down a little bit and make you feel like you are in a slightly cheaper car. You know, if those were nicer, this car would be absolutely brilliant. Drive-wise, the car isn't perhaps as refined as some more expensive EVs out there. However, it does drive perfectly nicely. It's nice and zippy. It's even got a sports mode, and it corners quite well as well. Certainly, if this is your first EV, you're going to be really, really impressed by it. The car has 3 regen braking settings, which is nice to see. It's not quite one pedal driving, but when you lift off the accelerator, the car slows very nicely for you. Nice relaxing way to drive, and you use the brakes a lot less. And from an EV point of view, that's part of what EV driving's about. The drive is pretty much what you'd expect of a car of this value. It's not the best, however, it really is surprisingly good for a car at this price point. The MG carries a perfectly respectable 50 kilowatt hour battery, which is very similar to many of its competitors that are coming out at the moment. In most of the competition, however, you're looking at 50 kilowatts being somewhere between maybe 170 and 200 miles worth of driving range. However, in the MG, you're getting closer to around about 150 miles of driving range, I would say, even with, you know, fairly careful EV driving. In part, you could argue it's the efficiency of the car overall, bearing in mind it's a good value car, but also it is a much bigger, heavier car as well. That being said, 150 miles worth of driving range is more than ample for most people, and to get 150 miles of driving range at the price of this car is absolutely brilliant. If you plan to do long distance driving in your MG as well, the good news is it comes with a CCS rapid charging connection, so you can charge the car on a long journey at somewhere like the motorway services or something like that, and that will give you, you know, about 30 minutes of stopping time. Is going to give you around about sort of 70 miles or so of extra driving range. So it's a perfectly capable long distance driving holiday car. In summary, the MG offers incredible value despite some of its minor shortcomings. When it comes to value, the MG is really, really very hard, if not impossible, to beat. The MG is super, super affordable, literally thousands of pounds cheaper than anything else, and yet it still comes with a massive 7-year warranty. It drives nice, it's very well made, it's got loads of spec, and it's a really practically sized, family suitable EV. You can certainly see how this car has become the 5th best-selling electric car in the UK. If you're looking for a family-sized EV and you've got a tight budget, I think the MG probably could be the ideal electric car for you. I hope this video has been useful in helping you learn a little bit more about the electric MG. If you'd like to find out more or arrange a test drive, please do get in touch. Thank you ever so much for watching, and please check out our other videos, and hopefully we can help you decide what might be the right electric car for you.